Welcome back to Go Again Gaming, and welcome back to the league that means absolutely nothing 3. We are still on round 2 here, and today I will be your voice of the league, Ian Holland, and I will be casting a game between Guillermo Reguero on Boltyn, Breaker of Dawn, Sir Boltyn, that is, Fab's favourite wife guy, and Simon Wanser on Uzuri, Switchblade, the head of the spider. Let us see how this one works out. It should be an interesting game, a long enough game, because both decks kind of want to play long games. Whether we're on a more contract-oriented Uzuri, which I believe Simon is on, and Boltyn, whether we're a combo or whether we are just playing good mid-range value. But without further ado and much more preamble, I'm going to throw it over to the gameplay, and we're going to see what our setups are like and how we get on.
Another sponsor for The League That Means Nothing Season 3. It's Az here talking about Void Games out of Crewe in Cheshire. Tom, Big Boss Book Club on Twitter, does run this shop, and he's had some fantastic events so far. He's had Skirmish Season, of course, the ProQuest as well that we streamed on Go Again Gaming. So just a fantastic shop that's got a lot going for it, and in the future it's going to have a lot more events as well, hopefully going forward. So make sure you go and check them out when you can. Pop in the store. It's a great little shop. There might be some images or videos flashed up here for you. But thanks for Tom for sponsoring The League That Means Nothing Season 3 and being an advocate for just casually gaming in all forms of different systems and different tabletop games. So yeah, cheers Tom, and let's get on with the tournament.
So it looks like we have Uzuri going first here. Definitely on that contract-oriented list because we have the Mask of Perdition taking on Boltyn, who is on the Warpath of Wings Grace, the Iron Song versus Tunic, and I believe that is the Warband of Boltyn. Guillermo in full Josh Lau mode with that Arsenal Protector. Some beautiful cold foils. Now we have a double pitch here into the Scale Peeler. Pitching a Looking for a Scrap, which doesn't do a whole lot on turn 1, and a Command and Conquer, which does even less. Leaves us with 2 cards in hand and probably not a lot for Guillermo to really worry about, and he's going to block this Scale Peeler with a Soul Shield. We're just going all in on this first block here, getting our first bit of advantage into Soul, pitching 2 reds as well. And then we have a Weakest Link. Probably not doing a whole lot here beyond dealing 3 points of damage. Yeah, just going to block for 3 here. Take 3. Definitely could have done that in the other order, but such is the way of things. Because you never know if your Uzuri opponent is going to Command and Conquer you, or if how they're going to attack you on something like that. So let's see what Guillermo tries to do. Getting that first bit of soul early is always good. Boltyn really likes it for the big setup turns where you want to pop off with Lumina Ascension. We're going to lead with a Banner Out of Gallantry, which is not where you want to see this one. To be honest, you want to be charging this to generate those quicken tokens. So we're just going to attack here for 4. Yeah, so Uzuri just going to take the 4 points of damage here. Doesn't really worry too much about it. Boltyn probably just going to Arsenal something halfway decent. Get that Arsenal Protector online. And see what we have coming in here for Simon. Going to lead with a Persuasive Prognosis. Thanks for the reminder there, as Simon forgets Tunic, but is given it later, because after all, this league that means nothing. It means nothing. It's all about having great games, and you want to play against the best plays. You don't always want to make the misplays count. But Uzuri going to activate the reaction because Persuasive Prognosis also has stealth. And we're going to send in a Soul Shield. Drawing the defense reactions early and often. Uzuri flipping that card face down to the bottom. And it is boom, 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 Bonds of Agony. So we've activated one attack reaction, this chain link. Uzuri choosing not to try and pump this all the way up and just passing. So let's see what we have here from Guillermo. We have a Take Flight. Red Take Flight, one of the better charge cards in Boltyn, because when you charge, it gains Go Again. So we're going to charge a Bolt of Courage, pitching a Take Flight. So this is a natural Go Again, which means we'll get a Raiden follow-up. If Simon chooses to block with any attack actions, Boltyn's Hero Text will trigger, giving this a +1 power. So we're going to block with our Black Tech Whispers and a Spreading Plague. Covering for not triggering Boltyn's text, and then follow up with Raiden Duskblade for 3. A 0 for 3. Pretty good rate, not gonna lie. And yeah, Uzuri just taking the 3 here. So here we have another Bonds of Agony. Now let's see if we choose to Uzuri it, or if we decide we want to attack the hand of Boltyn. So we have our first attack reaction, which is Mask of Perdition. We have our second attack reaction, which is Black Tech Whispers. We have our third attack reaction, which is Flick Knives. So we're going to flick the Scale Peeler at Boltyn, triggering Bond's other text, which is it's now 4 power and has an extraction effect where on hit, we get to look at Boltyn's hand, take a card, and rip it out the deck. Basically, you get to take the card from their hand and take it from the deck in total. And Mask of Perdition allows us to banish the top card on hit. So this is definitely hitting. That much I have worked out. So we've banished a card. Boltyn's at 32. So I believe, yeah, trying to show them here very easily for Guillermo to just reveal the cards because this is not, it's no secret what he takes. So it looks like we're losing our Bolts of Courage. One obviously already in Soul, but there's definitely still a couple of copies of Bolt of Courage to take out of the deck here. Obviously, revealing the deck, any tech we may have, getting revealed to our Uzuri opponents so that they know about defense reactions, etc., etc. There is a Bolt of Courage, and that is it, because the other Bolt of Courage is currently in Soul. So Uzuri getting a total of 2 bolts out of the deck. This has Go Again, so there's always a follow-up here as well. Just double checking to make sure there is no other bolts of courage there. Let's see what Simon decides to follow this one up with now. Pretty good to know, though, that we're down a scale peeler when we still have all our armor. And yeah, Simon deciding to follow up with leave no witnesses. So no arsenal here. All we'll be getting is a card off the top of the deck. And 4 points of damage if Guillermo even is worried about it. Yeah, just taking it, losing a banner out of gallantry to the banish zone, going to 28. Simon, no silver, no more equipment, kind of short on cards here, but taking an intellect penalty nonetheless, making me think that maybe there might be a shred floating around either in arsenal or in hand. So Guillermo going to activate Iron Song Versus, floating a resource, probably come in with that Take Flight, charging a card. Yeah, charging that Illuminate. So we're coming in for 3 go again. Obviously, if it's blocked by an attack action, it will become 4. And the Raiden has an on hit of make a courage token from Iron Song Versus, which is just a very useful and powerful on hit in a deck like Boltyn. So we're going to block here with just an ick. And follow up with Raiden. And that is also catching an inertia trap block. Obviously, we get our inertia. It doesn't do a whole lot here because we've no arsenal, but still, it is in fact incredibly relevant. If that Uzuri, now if you're Boltyn, you have to start thinking, are they packing frailty traps? Because frailty traps really do matter an awful lot against Boltyn, and can and have been brutal to Boltyn players I've seen in the past. Now we have a Bonds of Agony coming in for 1. And I would expect this one is going to be Uzuri'd away. This one's going to be stealthed away. Because Uzuri doesn't really run attack reactions in the same way that Nu does, because you can't afford to. And if you're Guillermo, maybe you're calling a bluff here. Or maybe you're just blocking with some amount of armor. This would be the 3rd Bonds of Agony. So, always good to see them gone, in my experience. We're blocking with Illumina Ascension, just in case Simon is in fact able to do something with it, and I kind of figured this was the situation we're in. And we're going to Already Dead. So this is going to banish a defending card, and banishing a non-action card will generate a silver and banish the top card of the deck. And if that's a defending card, a non-attack action as well, or a non-action. So Lumina doesn't count, Illuminate doesn't count, no silver. But Guillermo being better safe than sorry, and losing all 3 copies of Lumina and just kind of losing the game on the spot. And we're going to use Tunic to send in a Take Flight, charge a Light the... I want to say Light the Way. A lot of the Light Warrior cards look kind of the same. I have played some amount of them, but not a huge amount. And we have another block with a Just Nick, just another card for Guillermo not to have to worry about, dealing a point of damage, and then following it up with Raiden for 3. No Go Again yet. Boltyn, text active, always able to give Go Again. And that will pump it up to 4 thanks to the Death Touch, dealing 2 points of damage. And we're going to give it Go Again with Boltyn's hero text. And we're going to throw a Celestial Cataclysm and just punch in. So 7 Go Again. So we're going to block for 3, which would result in taking 4. Going to 26. And Uzuri's just going to use the last card in hand, gain some life. And naturally, we have Codex of Frailty, Max Punish. We're going to grab probably a Leave No Witnesses. Give Boltyn a Frailty, which he does not want. So we have Leave No Witnesses coming in to threaten this Take Flight. And I imagine we're just going to get, we're going to see the block with the two block temper pieces of armor. And here we have a V of the Vanguard. A great card here. One of Boltyn's more powerful cards generally leads to the more powerful turns pitching, charging a Saving Grace, not charging the last card. So every card this combat chain gets +1 power. So it's going to come in for 4 Go Again. No Go Again. Boltyn can give it Go Again. And that is going to get a pump by +1 from blocking with an attack. So, and then we're going to lead in with this Valiant Thrust. So it's coming in for 4 +3 plus another 1. So this is coming in for 8. See how Uzuri chooses to block here. Boltyn choosing to hang on to this Take Flight. Uzuri going to 19. And Boltyn just drawing up. Removing that Frailty token. Uzuri pitching Plague Hive to send in Spider's Bite. Let's get the dice out. It's the Metal Fab tokens. Plague Dice. Let's see what we get. That is a Blood Rot for Boltyn. Probably not the one that Simon was looking for. Simon much would have preferred to give a Frailty. But here we are. can't imagine Boltyn is in a massive rush to block this spider's bite. Uzuri with 2 cards to follow up. And here we have an isolate, which has dominate. And it has exclusively the text of, I am going to Uzuri something in now. Now, obviously, we've had the hit from Spider's Bite, which means our attack actions block less. So maybe Boltyn has some defense reactions. Or maybe Boltyn's about to get Command and Conquered. Who knows? Either way, could be pretty rough. Now, let's see if Boltyn has any reactions in response, or are we just going to see Uzuri drop this already dead card that, for the price point, does not matter. I'm sorry, Assassin fans. Cope and see that this card is terrible. I don't understand it. But it is a contract card, and occasionally it does work. But we're going to banish that Bolting Blade and deal 6 points of damage. It is probably the least impactful of Uzuri's on hits, unless you're catching something like a battle-worn piece of equipment on the combat chain. But now we have Boltyn with a full hand, Boltyn with a Blood Rot, and Uzuri was not able to disrupt there. Now we have a V of the Vanguard pitching a Beacon of Victory. Normally, a card obviously we love to play because it goes and it gets our Lumina Ascensions, etc., etc. Charging a Banneret of Courage, which will trigger Soul Flare to make a Courage token. Guillermo has absolutely no tokens. We love to see it. Instead, we're going to use this gorgeous Boltyn. Him and his fantastic artwork. And that means V of the Vanguard is currently coming in for 4. No go again. Could have go again. Who knows? Oh, I say who knows. We know Boltyn knows. And then on top of that is coming in probably the Take Flight from Arsenal. And then another card in hand. A mystery card here. Generally speaking, when you're playing these kinds of attacks, you want to line V of the Vanguard up with your Tunic turns because that's when you get to deal the most. You get to keep your entire hand, but we would have needed an extra resource anyway to send this Take Flight. And because we've already charged this turn, we do not need to charge here. So this is going to come in for 5, 6 go again. As we've charged this turn, Take Flight already has go again. Its power text is active, so we have 6 go again coming in here. Blocking with 2 attacks, pumping it up to 7. Dealing a point of damage to our Uzuri. I have a funny feeling Boltyn might be taking the 2 damage from this Blood Rot. Then we're going to follow that up with 3 from this Raiden. 4, apologies. With the caveat that if it... Yeah, so that's going to pump it up to 5 total. And we have a card left over. So we're going to give this go again using our Soul Shield banished from Soul. Putting our Uzuri down to 12. This is a very good V of the Vanguard turn. We're really pushing a lot of damage and following up with an Engulfing Light for 4. On hit goes to Soul. So we get to bag a little extra Soul at the end of this turn. Yeah, just taking the 4 damage. Card to soul. Nothing in arsenal. And Boltyn taking 2, going to 16. A pretty solid exchange for Boltyn. I can see why they took all the damage there. And now we have a Bonds of Attraction with a card in hand from Uzuri, which is probably some kind of nasty disruptive attack, because that is the whole point of playing Uzuri. If you're going to do these things, you're going to attack with stealth cards, and then you're going to send those stealth cards to the bottom of your deck to attack with actually what you want to. You're going to sneak in the real attack. Very flavorful assassin stuff altogether. Yeah, we're going to activate Uzuri here, putting a card face down, providing Guillermo with a chance to defense react if they so wish. And they do not. And what have we got? We have a shakedown. Uzuri's other specialization, if you've played or activated an attack reaction, which includes Uzuri's hero text, and when it hits a hero, choose red, yellow, or blue, reveal their hand, and you get to banish a card. Choosing red, ambitious choice versus Boltyn. Yellow tends to be where you want to be at. So we're going to hit an engulfing light and 3 yellows, one of which is a Spirit of Erina, which is exactly what you going to be exactly where you want it to be when you're playing Boltyn. Now let's see if we even bother, or if with our Uzuri at 8, we just go Tunic for V, charge, and just push some damage. Or do we Tunic for take flight, charge spirit, and just send a bit of damage, pocket that beacon of B of the Vanguard. Yeah, we're going to use the Tunic anyway. Definitely the Tunic is happening. That is confirmed. Do we charge 2 and maybe send in 5 and 5? Who knows? Uzuri very happy to trade 2-card hands. So always an awkward one. Yeah, Tunic, V of the Vanguard. We are in fact charging 2, which puts our Spirit of Erina into the arena, allowing us to play any Luminous Engines that we may or may not find as instants. But this is 5. Very important. 5, if you block with an attack action, becomes 6. Uzuri at 8 is going to have to block. Yeah, so we're blocking. This goes to 6. Blocking 6. We're going to activate Boltyn, keeping a card in soul, and send in Raiden for 5. And Uzuri wanting to keep 2 cards here, I would imagine. So just probably taking 5. Nope, taking 3. Floating a resource. Yeah, going to 5. Solid enough turn from our Boltyn here. Drawing 4. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points of armor here for whatever Uzuri threatens with as well. So quite a good spot to be in this match. And here comes Isolate. Yeah, so the Warpath of Winged Grace and the Iron Song versus going under the bus here. Are we going to charge and generate that Quicken token? Are we going to keep 4 cards instead? And what other card is going to be blocking along with these? Because I imagine that's the whole point, is to make sure Uzuri does not feel incentivized to do anything. It's a beacon of victory. Interesting. Interesting. So we're going to block 6 here. And Uzuri is just going to Arsenal and pass. Not seeing a lot of Beacon of Victory action. One of the best cards in Boltyn, not doing a whole lot here. But we have a 3-card hand. Let's see what we can send to threaten Uzuri. I imagine we eat at least a card, if not two here. And it's going to be a Beaming Bravado. So charging a yellow, which gives it +1. Creates a courage token because it is a banneret of courage. So we're coming in for 4. So already, Boltyn's hero text is going to be active. And the courage is going to give the next attack the same ability to give it go again. But we're leading in with 4 go again. 4 potentially go again. So looking to go 2 to 3 links wide here is Boltyn. And we have a block with a blue shred. And going to activate Boltyn's attack reaction to give it go again anyway. And then in comes Raiden, popping that courage, coming in for 4. And if that last card in hand is Illumina, we can play it at instant speed in the reaction step to generate an extra swing with Raiden, give it +1, blah, blah, blah. All that good stuff, all that stuff that Boltyn wants to do. And that is, in fact, what we are doing. We are in the reaction set playing Lumina Ascension, gaining an extra swing with Raiden, and gaining an action point because we were playing an action with Go Again. And Simon choosing to gain 3 life here. He is still going to take 5 now, and Boltyn is going to reveal the top card of their deck. It is, in fact, a light card, so it goes to Soul. Boltyn gains a life. Unfortunately, it is that last beacon of victory, so that ain't doing a whole lot. And then our second Raiden swing, using our other action point that we generated from playing a action with Go Again as an instant, and it's going to come in for 4. So this is our second swing of the turn, and now Uzuri kind of in an awkward spot, blocking with an attack and an attack reaction. So it's going to 5, but it is fully blocked. Boltyn ending the turn, 2 cards in Soul. Pretty good spot here. Still 2 block in armor as well. Uzuri, nothing going on, just drawing and passing. Boltyn ticking up Tunic on their turn and ready to start closing this game out. Just using all of the advantage they've generated to try and shut this one down. One of the best things about Boltyn's hero text of now we're pitching Illumina to break our Warband of Boltyn, so we can charge our hero soul. If it's a yellow card, you draw a card. Sure. So it costs 2. So that's why we're pitching the Illumina. So the next time we attack, you may charge, which is great because it means our Raiden itself will charge itself. I wonder, does Guillermo exclusively have reds? He has E-Strike. So we're going to E-Strike, bottom. We're going to choose to charge, which will draw us a card. And I imagine this E-Strike is getting +2, so it's going to come in for 7 with Boltyn's active hero text. Yeah, looks like coming in for 7. If you block with an attack, it's going to go to 8. So you need to block quite a bit to cover this one up. This weakest link ain't going to do the job on its own anyway. And in our reactions, we're going to give it go again. Simon following up with a sink below, sinking a card, going to take 1 damage for his troubles. And let's see what we have here. We have a Raiden Duskbane coming in for 3, requiring a non-attack or both cards from hand to block. Going to 4, doesn't matter, give it go again. If we have an attack left in hand, which it looks like we do, yeah, that is going to be a light the way for lethal, and Boltyn getting the win here. So it is, in fact, Solana's day over the pits. And congratulations, Guillermo. Congratulations on your win. Hard luck, Simon. Couldn't really seem to string anything together. Couldn't quite get the contracts to line up for yourself. And Boltyn, some really smart blocking, some really clever blocking, making sure never to allow Uzuri to generate too much value on those turns. What a game. Congratulations. Great game in round 2 of the league. And, like, let's be real. It's only round 2, so the games are only going to get better from here as people are fighting tooth and nail either to stay at the top of the leaderboard. After all, they're chasing nothing. Or maybe they're clawing their way in for that coveted spot in the top 8 at the chance to win absolutely nothing. Well, for now, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you've liked the video, make sure you like the video down below. You tell me, you tell Az, you tell Guillermo, and you tell Simon how much you liked the video, how much you enjoyed the gameplay, and how excited you are for more Flesh and Blood content, more CC content, all for the love of the game and meaning absolutely nothing at the end of the day. And when you finished commenting and you finished liking, make sure you subscribe to Go Again Gaming so that you know you're going to get all of the notifications about the fantastic content that Az is putting out, and give Az a big shout out because he is working himself to the bone providing this content for everyone. But for now, I'm going to love you and leave you. I have been your voice of the league, Ian Holland. You can find me on Blue Sky at findlespirit.bsky.social or on Twitter at findles_spirit. And hopefully you can find me talking about Flesh and Blood, talking about health, talking about life, if I'm posting at all. And you will always find me posting about the league. That means absolutely nothing. For now, goodbye, and I will see you in the next one.